Hey,
Hey, good afternoon, young Alex.
yeah, what's going on, Nelly Nell?
Just chilling here on a nice sunny afternoon in California.
There we
LA
go.
to be exact, everybody. How's everyone else doing here today?
Yeah, throw it in the chat.
Hey,
Who's up here with us? Because Crispy said if you're not
crispy. Yeah, I
first,
just
you're
say
last.
crispy. Yeah, he's getting crisp already.
Ricky Bobby.
I guess
And
some- oh,
let's see, Antonio's up in here. Trip, our homie Ghost Monkey, and Song. We got a lot of California peeps in the house. Crispy's from
yeah.
Texas. Antonio's in New York. Emil's repping Toronto. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who?
Yeah.
Toronto, my own stomping ground. Who's coming from there? Let me
There
look.
we go. Emil.
I've never heard of that guy. Welcome, Emil.
Yeah, he's been around fantasy football, stuff mostly, but yeah, I know he loves the movies.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was living up in sorry, I got a knock on the door, but I'll talk to him later. My neighbor. I was living in the Yonge and Eglinton area. He'll know where that is.
Yeah.
Uptown Toronto. Uptown.
There we go.
It's a blast. Alex, you got to get your butt over there, man. You'd
I
love it.
know. I don't know. I'd be one of the people who they'd like turn away at the gates. Like, nah, you can't come here.
No, but they love the 420 up there. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, they do. And Peacock, he said, just got back from Comic-Con. Nice. You talking about you or me? I mean, I went yesterday and Friday, but yeah, we went to the Vegas Comic-Con out here.
Oh, it was in Vegas?
Yeah, way smaller than San Diego, but it was cool. Noble had a blast. He got to see Spider-Man. He was super stoked and starstruck.
Yeah, which Spider-Man? Like who played the mascot? What type of
Oh, well, I mean, it was
like
just
5 Spider-Mans here in LA, right?
yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, at least from the ones that I know. I mean, it looked like the original one, and yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't like anyone who was actually playing Spider-Man. Just people dressed up like him.
Oh, just dressed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But for him, that's like a real thing, though.
Oh yeah, for
Obviously,
sure.
right?
Yeah, we're not talking films today. We're talking about a TV series, and this one was on FX, so the Fox affiliate. 2009 was when it started, went all the way through 2015, so they got 7 seasons.
Oh, and, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this first one was only 6 episodes though, and I mean, I know a lot of like ones like this, they probably didn't know if they were going to go longer than a year, right? Just really depended on the type of audience that they were getting or the type of numbers, I'm sure, back in the day, back in 2009. And it did good enough to turn into 7 seasons.
Well, I'm not surprised.
People are addicted to fantasy football. And I feel like this was more kind of coming at a time where, I mean, not to say that fantasy football was underground, but I still feel like it's not even mainstream yet. It's just like maybe dipping its toe into like the mainstream waters. But this was kind of like a lot of people's first look into what fantasy football might be.
Yeah, it was on FX originally too, right?
Yeah.
FX, yeah, I saw that. I noticed that when I was watching the episodes yesterday.
Classic
They're
stuff.
funny. They're funny. I never even heard of it. But thinking I was out of loop, I never wasn't really watching much of anything back then and even now. So you get me back into the mix of things there, Alex.
There we go. And this is from a future season. Antonio says that one was consensual. This one was not. And from a character, Rafi, and his girlfriend is a watermelon, and her name is Margaret. It gets real wild. It gets real wild.
Yeah, I'll have to watch those other episodes of my own, so I'll be ready when we do those other season 2.
Heck yeah. And I know there's a few people like Song where he was like, what the hell's the league? Never heard of it. And your brother Marty as well, a little earlier when
Marty
we were
ever
doing
heard
the
of
show. Yeah, he was like, we gotta
love it.
Yeah, neither one of them knew about it. Now they went to go check it out. I like it. Oh, yeah, Peacock. Nice. So he said he went to a local one. He said Mick Foley was on the main stage. Super dope.
Which is Mick Foley?
Mankind.
Oh, from wrestling?
From wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, but I thought we were talking about the league stuff. Get mixed up.
This one, that was his entrance music.
Oh, you know it.
Now he does like stand-up comedy. Well, I mean, it's not even really stand-up comedy. It's really just like it's almost like he's doing a one-man show, but started at comedy clubs. All right. We're gonna jump into the first
here.
We're gonna jump into the first episode. We're just gonna dive right in. And you've never seen the show before this. I've seen it, like I watch it like every single year since it like came out, or at least since it finished. What was your initial thoughts about the show?
Well, my initial thoughts before I even started watching was that, man, I'm gonna be lost because I don't know fantasy football that well at all, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, my brother, he's into it and hardcore with you and everyone else here. It's new to me as far as trying to get a grasp on it. I of course, have known about it. So I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it would be as funny as I thought it, as I found it to be. So I wasn't lost at all. Like the fantasy football is a prominent aspect of it, but it's not. It's not intricate that you really got to know about fantasy football to follow along.
Right.
The people's lives, like the 5 guys and then 2 are married, 3 aren't.
Yep.
They're all different, man. All different types of archetypes based on their personalities, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what makes it so funny. I mean, you got the stoner guy Taco, who's always my favorite character. Just first time you see him, he's hitting a bong. And then everyone else is a little bit more straight edge, but you got 2 of the guys who are lawyers. One's a defense attorney and the other one's like a district attorney, or at least assistant district attorney or whatever.
Yeah.
And
you head to head.
Yeah. And then you got Pete, so Ruxin's a Jewish lawyer. Kevin is the district attorney or assistant district attorney. And then Pete, we don't even really know what Pete is. I mean, other than a degenerate with fantasy football. And he's the one who him and his wife get divorced in the first episode, or they split. And then he's kind of like the black sheep of like the group because
he's still in there. He's still in there pretty good.
Yeah.
But those 2 of them get on him because it puts more pressure on their marriage to stay married or whatnot. So
yeah,
it was sad to see him go, to see him to dissolve the union, the nuptials, right?
And you get, at least when you first get introduced to some of the characters, Pete is like talking on he's doing like a video chat, right? Like that's pretty much what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he kind of introduces the characters just like as he's talking trash. And then you find out he's the league champion.
Johnny. Sorry, Johnny just finished.
Yeah. There we go.
Episode 6. Oh, that
Shiva Kamini. Classic stuff. And like, he's so confident when he's talking, and like he's just shitting on all of his friends, and then his wife comes in. She's like, this is faux football, right? Fake football.
Yeah.
And he just got like this super insecure look on his face. I was like, shit.
Yeah, faux football, fake. Yeah, I remember saying that. He's hiding, he was hiding it from there. It was like, it was funny too. I was thinking, are these guys just all beta males? But not necessarily. They were just like, kind of like the situation. They're just trapped. They felt trapped in their situations of undesirability. The one guy, like, he couldn't get laid, and his wife was hot, right?
Yeah,
he was being teased every day. Even for me, like out of sight, out of mind, I'm pretty good. But if you got to be tempted every day, you wake up to something like that. Come on.
That's rough.
So you see what he was going through. No way for me.
And then what else? So Andre, he's just like the butt of every joke, like along the way. Like it's they just give him so much shit. It's hilarious. Like a lot of this, probably not even like they make this show like today, like they start 2009. Instead of 2009, they start in 2023. I don't know if they can get away with as much stuff as they were getting away with back then. America got a little bit more PC since then.
Yeah, they had a lot of gay jokes back then.
Yeah,
rough housing, stuff like that.
Yep.
So,
One of the one of the storylines that I like, and I mean, they just take over the top, and I mean, it's not like a funny subject, but of course they turned it into a super funny subject. But like the Oracle, the young kid who's there and like knows everything, you know, because he's got no girlfriend, no work, no job, no life, no nothing. And then Ruxin, he's like getting his number, and like they're making fun of him. Hey, to catch a predator. You know?
They said, like, ooh. Yeah, you know what? Watching the humor, I was like cringing a little bit. I was like, wow.
Yeah, because they toe the line. And I guess what's funny about this, it's a husband and a wife who are the creators of this show and did a lot of writing for the show. And a lot of the show is improv as well.
Yeah, Jackie Marcus Stoffner?
Jeff and Jackie Schaefer, I believe.
Schaefer.
Yeah.
I saw them on the credits like over and over again.
Yeah. So
I thought it was a husband and wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get some zany humor, and they wrote a lot of it too.
Yeah. Peacock says Rafi, dude, forever unclean and pocket dogs. Yeah, he always has a pocket dog. And Bakes Loud said, "What up? What's good, motherfucker?" Shout out to the homie Nelson. And he said, "So what do you think about Rafi, aka Bogey's cousin?" Still don't see the resemblance. Must be the drugs. I mean, that's what I would think. I even told
Bakes a lot.
Bogey's more like Taco to me, because like he's a stoner, and like Taco has really bad internet. You know, like what's one of the things that Bogey's known for on the show? Having bad internet. So I mean, that's Taco is the closest resemblance for me.
Man, I got the wrong live going. You switched it up on me. Where are we here? I was on the other one on the are you on the 420 live? You are, right?
We're on both.
Yeah, I know, but I'm missing everybody in the chat, so I want to get to the other chat.
Oh yeah. So the one that I sent you is the one because we should always share the silver screen breakdowns one. Yeah, and that's the one that I sent you.
Yeah, I can't get. What was the other one? I can't find it.
Hey, and there goes Canada Marty in the house. What up, bro? You get a chance?
We're talking, my brother.
Yeah, we're talking about episode 1. Marty, did you get a chance to watch?
I sent it to him too.
Yeah, he said he had episode 1 pulled up when we got off of it. But yeah.
Why can't I get oh, I know why. So looking for this thing. So Canadian Marty, brother Marty's in the house. That's good.
There we go.
It's been a while. I'm in the house like over a month ago last time.
There you go. I sent you.
There we go.
That'll make it easier.
Finally. I'm on the right one here.
And there we go. Minnesota Marty in the house. And
the two Martys.
There we go.
Like the two Corys.
He started it. He said he passed out on the last episode. Well, that's good. At least you got to see a bunch of it. We're gonna talk. we're gonna talk about each episode a little bit. But yeah, that was one of the funny storylines. Ruxin being the sexual predator, you know, trying to get the information, and that's kind of like a running joke in the show also, as they go from season to season, meeting new people who are like these gurus and who have inside information, you know, that like nobody else has, and it's like a secret for them to win, you know, like somehow. And it all starts with the little 9-year-old, the Oracle.
Oh yeah, so he's getting his number when they're on the swing. At the party.
Yeah, and that was right when Taco was singing his song to
that song was stellar, but it was like, what? Actually singing that in front of the kids.
And I guess
I got the lyrics. I think I got some lyrics here. When they got home, they were horny as hell. Dad threw your mom on the bed and tore her panties off. But it rhymes. He's singing that in front of the kids with strumming his guitar, having like a nice picnic afternoon birthday, right?
And that's the first thing they do once it starts.
That was in the first 5 minutes too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really early in there.
That's what I go, what is this? This is good. This is going to be good. So.
And I wonder if they actually had like the kids there for the entire time when he was singing, because there's really only one time where you see the kids and him in the exact same frame, like at the same time.
Oh
But
yeah, that's true. Probably.
but yeah, it was funny. Yeah, it was when he said your dad's wee wee was hard as a rock, and then
Oh, that came after that. I didn't write it down though.
they panned to all the parents.
Yeah, I was like, what? Wow,
Performed to
crazy.
69, and your mom came at least 3 times.
Yeah.
They let him go for a while before they shut him
finally
down.
told him to stop. Okay, we've heard enough. We've heard enough.
And that's so I think Taco does in the first season, I think he has 3, if I'm not mistaken, different songs that he's singing. Episode 1, episode 2, and then the final episode, his offering to Shiva.
Oh yeah, the other one was the hubris or something.
Vaginal
vaginal hubris. I said that was a catchy tune. By the way, it was a catchy tune. That's what he was doing a video.
Yeah,
I think we'll get to that, but
yeah, we'll get to that. We get to episode 2, but Taco.
And I got to tell you, we never mentioned her. The wife of what was his name? Not Andre, Kevin, right?
Yep.
His wife was pretty. Threw a little monkey wrench in the dynamic.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
She was really good too, and like kind of seeing her involved in getting information for him.
Yeah,
but then they'd be arguing, but then she'd still kind of like over the overall picture, she was really on his side, even though they had little spats.
Yeah, and it even the very beginning is like he always Kevin or Pete's making fun of Kevin for always losing the bets, and she's like, "You got to listen to me this year." He's like, "All right, I will."
Yeah. And he struggles through every time though.
Yep, that's the running joke in there, is that she actually runs his team behind everyone else's back. Yeah, Marty said Ruxin's wife is fire, and that song was hilarious. Yeah, Ruxin's wife, man, just such a big tease for Ruxin. Can't get any after having the baby.
But did he get some before the baby even? Or was it was because of the baby, wasn't it?
Yeah. He said ever since the baby's come out.
You know what though? I gotta say this before I forget. There's this Pete's wife that he separates from, right? Not Pete. Yeah, Pete. I swear there was like 2 other actresses, unless it was the same one, that looked just like her. There's one actress right in the very end in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the car dealership. Taco.
Yeah.
He was mopping the floor. Then he took off his jumpsuit so he could sell that car to that one girl.
Yeah.
She looked just like Pete's wife.
Right. Very simple.
It was a different. And then there was another blonde. There's like, I think it's 3 different actresses. They all look very similar. So I got a little confused.
Yeah.
And you don't usually see that on shows. They cast like more diversely, but
yeah.
So I thought it was something kind of subliminal or something I was missing. I'm not sure, but
yeah. And and what was it? So I like this, Johnny. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Taco, his in real life, was a medium famous for his silly songs and videos before the show. Some of them are pretty good. Nice. And I mean, I guess literally through the entire thing is him like making new videos, making new songs and things like that, and posting them on the message board and all that.
Being in his own element, just showing up in places out of the blue. Ever notice that?
Yeah.
A couple times they said, Taco, how'd you get here? Where'd you come from?
Very elusive. Antonio said all the hot girls drive a Volkswagen Jetta. Yep. Yeah, he said he went and dressed up like a homeless man, right? And started counting every single Jetta that he saw. 92% of the time, hot chick.
Some truth to that, I think.
So one of the things that was super hilarious in the beginning, I mean, I guess this was even before before they go to the party, Ellie's party, is when Pete and his wife are in bed and they start having sex, and she puts her finger up his ass while they're having sex, and then that's kind of that's a little bit of a running joke for a little bit of the show, but at least in episode 1.
Yeah, her fingers just kind of crawled down its back like this, huh?
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you're massaging my back."
Although I was watching it too. I was like, what is she doing? Is she doing what I think she's gonna do? I go, yep. No holds barred on there on these scenes in the beginning episode, man. I tell you that.
Yeah. Had to catch people by surprise.
Oh, a good scene too was the two lawyers that going at it with the inmate there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to go on a crime screen. You should be. What was it? A crime screen that would make Robert Blake come in his pants.
Yeah. That's how valuable the first overall pick is in these fantasy football leagues. Let me tell you.
Because the guy only got 5 years instead of 10.
Yeah. Had to wave. Had to go to the third liquor store. Had to wave at the camera.
You had to do that, man. You get greedy.
So
I saw a Kit Kat the other day. Nobody knows.
Oh man, Ruxin's such an idiot. Oh man, and Song said, I'm mowing my yard and listen. I had to stop and say that shit was funny. Antonio said, you said your name in the camera. Hi, Mom.
Antonio 420.
One part that was super funny that at least one of my quotes that we're gonna bring that we'll bring up later at the end when we bring up our favorite quotes. But yeah, it was Pete was so turned off by getting the finger up his ass when they were having sex. When they go to the party, they're talking, and it's Pete and his wife, and they're talking to Jenny, or Pete's wife is talking to Jenny, and they're talking
party, right?
What's that?
At the party.
Yeah, at the party.
Yeah.
In the very beginning. And she's talking about having strong swimmers and things like that.
Yeah.
And then Pete comes up and like they're talking, and he's like, well, how do you know if you have strong swimmers? And he was like, maybe I'd have strong swimmers if someone wasn't sticking a finger in my ass while we were having sex. And like
they all heard that.
Dying. They're all dying.
That's when she walked up. I think that was what broke the camel's back, and then they got separated after that.
Yeah.
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 There's a lot of nice quotes in that first one. Another one was just the writing style of the show. The ladies, make a pick, get a room, or rub dongs. It was so funny because if you go back, it's a husband and wife writing this stuff.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then he had that joint, right?
Yeah. Oh man.
Then he smoked that joint.
Yeah.
He got high off that weed, so we thought it was weed.
Thought it was weed, but it was pubes. Oh man. Yeah. He's just been the butt of a lot of jokes for their entire life.
Mm-hmm. Andre.
They really fuck with him.
Oh, he even had to get a tattoo on his back of Pete.
Yeah. He's like, you get one next, right? Yeah. Oh man, get him drunk.
Well, those are the highlights pretty much of that first episode, which was very enticing to say the least.
Now, before we move off of the first episode, there's one part that's pretty cool always within the first episode of each season, and that's how they choose the draft order. And so this one was pretty cool that they chose numbers out of a bowl, and the number represented a kid that was in like the sack race or whatever, and whatever kid won, that was the order that they got it in. Real random, and but pretty cool though, and that's something that all fantasy football like commissioners and managers are always trying to do, come up with different ways to choose a draft order. So I thought that was very very clever, to say the least, to start.
Yeah, that was right, because when Ruxin held up one kid because he won, I think.
Yeah.
I thought it was his kid at first, I was thinking, because I didn't know the characters that well.
Yeah.
But it was someone else's kid.
Yeah.
He told him up, he's like, yeah, you won. Yeah, we won. Told the kid that's, a 6-year-old kid up in his arms.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And Adrian Peterson, that was the first pick in this draft. So that's a blast from the past. The year that he broke his ACL. So the year before he has this crazy season.
It wasn't the same when he got back, huh?
No, he was even better.
Exactly.
All right. Let's jump into episode 2. So really, episode 1 and episode 6, it seems those 2 episodes are more about fantasy football than every other episode. Like fantasy football is in the mix, but it's not always necessarily the main storyline. So pretty much the main storyline in this second one is Ruxin and his bounce test video that he found out about.
Poor guy on that.
What do you think about that? That was his porn.
Well, first of all, his wife thinks it's cheating if he watches porn.
Yeah.
Like, come on, the guy's in a prison. He's in a sexual prison. Or is it a chastity prison? I don't know which I should say.
Yeah.
He's not getting it.
Right.
So he can't watch. So he was happy to watch the bouncy because there's no head. It was like from the neck down. So it's not like he was cheating, right?
Yeah.
So he thought.
Yeah.
So she catches him.
And how?
Yeah, he was gonna get laid, right? She was in the mood finally.
Yeah.
And then she just had to, okay, let's shut this computer down. We're ready to. No, we're not ready to go.
And that comes to, that was another quote. Oh, it feels like I have 10 pounds of pudding inside of me.
Oh, I got that. That was one of my quotes too. I like that one. Inside of me. 10 pounds.
And Crispy, he said, is he the only one over at the Silver Screen Breakdowns? Make sure you guys go subscribe at the Silver Screen Breakdowns YouTube.
Yeah, he's the only one by himself. I just left that. I was still like the only one with him.
The link is in the top of the links in the top of the Hustler chat. Pull up both videos. Show some love. We appreciate you. And Marty says the bounce test. LOL.
Marty.
Yeah, and then he has to talk about it. He has to talk about it and brag about it in the league chat. And then Jenny finds out about it. And then she uses that as leverage to get a big trade out of Ruxin. That was big time. That was.
Okay. You said Jenny. There's Jenny and Allie, right? No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still not great with the names. Okay, Kevin and Allie.
Kevin and Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jenny did the deal with Ruxin out on the park bench there.
Exactly.
Okay. When you said Jenny, I was thinking of someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was thinking of Ruxin's wife. Well, yeah. What was her name?
What is her name? Sophia. There we go. Sophia.
Yeah. So Jenny extorts him, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. For lack of a better term, but yeah, extorts him to get Peyton Manning, and they traded him Fred Taylor and Torrey Holt. So just ultimate collusion trade. They're going on, but
no, it was a rape trade, wasn't it?
Well, that was
the fourth episode. That's the fourth episode.
We'll get into that. That was Pete trade raping. But yeah, I mean that was that was one of the first big trades that we get. May have been the only trade that we get, and it didn't matter because Sophia ended up catching Ruxin anyways. And but one part, I guess we skipped ahead a little bit when they go to couples dinner. Jenny gets a little bit out of control. She has something to drink and talks about how Kevin wouldn't leave because she's confident in her pussy.
Yeah, her pussy. Her vagina's top notch. She has a lot of confidence in her vagina's skills.
Yeah, and then Ruxin.
You know what though? I thought Sophia would be cool with that because Sophia had Jenny's hands all over her tits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then she starts talking about her vagina. Then Sophia had a problem with it. I was like, "What are you talking about? You just had her hands all over you."
Yeah.
So Sophia's a strange one. She's strange. I like Jenny.
She's a little bit more straightforward. Jenny's one of the guys. She doesn't like being one of the girls. She likes being one of the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And outside of that, with the other storyline is Andre and Pete. So Andre, the single one, right, trying to give Pete like advice on how to pick up chicks in the bar. And he was like, yeah, just talking to girls, that's out.
Neg treatment.
Can't do that anymore.
You can go neg, right? Negative.
Yeah, like negative. And yeah, and he's like, yeah, watch this. And he was like, hey, Let's make your those pants make your butt look big, or something like that.
She might have hoped to look big, man. The big is in these days, right?
Heck yeah,
The
super
old
funny.
booties.
And yeah, and then Andre's telling Pete, you got to come out with some magic, and he's like, magic? You're gonna honestly tell me that women like to see you do magic? He's like, what's your success rate? He's like, what do you mean success rate? Like what are we talking about? Hand gibbers? Anything, just anything at all. And then we get Taco coming in, and he introduces
I don't
us.
know, yeah.
Introduces us to the Eskimo brothers and how he doesn't have to pay for
Eskimo
anything.
brothers, yeah.
What'd you think of that one? That was another big one.
I heard of that term just recently, actually.
Okay, outside of this show.
Pardon me?
Outside of this show?
Yeah,
saying?
have you heard that term? Eskimo brother?
Well, I mean, I saw the show in 2009, so I mean, I've known about it. That I don't know if this term was created by the show or if they're just what made it famous, but that's how I knew the saying.
Okay, yeah, that was a new terminology for me. Yeah, so he says to Andre, yeah, Eskimo brother, he explains it. Like, have you had sex with your sister? He's like, what? Well, I had sex with your sister, so then we would have been Eskimo brothers. And then, oh, Heather. And then Pete says, yeah, I had sex with Heather too. We're Eskimo brothers. And Andre's like, Andre comes back a couple minutes later. Yeah, you guys are right. You did have sex with my sister. He actually asked her. He goes and asks her. See, the humor of the show is like they do one step of humor, then you think it's done, but they have another step two, then maybe a third step.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll twist it. They keep twisting the one little joke, so it doesn't stop just on one thing.
Yeah.
So it throws you off. It keeps you on your toes for watching. You miss some stuff if you don't watch it that close.
The Eskimo brothers, it goes all the way through. Like, this is like Taco's kind of claim to fame. Like, they get Snoop Dogg on the show. He's like, hey, my Eskimo brother's gonna come hang out with us, and it's funny.
That's a different season, obviously.
Yeah, it's like season 3, I think. And they're like, where are they? They're Snoop Dogg is your Eskimo brother? They're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you know him. Like, he doesn't know that he's famous. He just knows them because they're Eskimo brothers. Like, Taco's like one of those idiot savants. He's Eskimo brothers with like everybody, but he doesn't know what they do or anything about them. He just meets them somehow, but he's like not into pop culture. He doesn't know who anybody is, but he knows a lot of famous people because of being Eskimo brothers.
Yeah, with the bartender.
Yeah, exactly. It goes as far as him creating an Eskimo Brothers bed and breakfast. Can't remember what season that is, but
oh yeah, so it carries on, huh? The Eskimo brothers live on to more episodes.
Yeah, Taco. You wouldn't really get it from the first season because only 6 episodes. There's only so much character development that they can do. But in the second season, that's when Taco, you start seeing more and more that he's like the most creative genius out of all of them. He just, the other guys, like we were talking about before the show, everyone's kind of complacent in their lives. Taco's the only one who actually like takes swings and misses at things until he starts hitting.
He'll take a risk.
Yeah.
He'll take a risk.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed one thing on the first episode real quick. At the party, she was learning how to spell. So the letterboard up in the fridge. You heard that? That horror.
Yeah.
Like when I saw that too, I was like, what? and then it cuts to Taco singing the song, right?
Yeah.
So it was action packed.
What up, Chaotic? Do you get to watch some episodes before you hopped on? And that's something that carries over as well, because she's like the oldest kid, right? Out of like, all the kids that are there. But oh
yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, where were we on the second Ruxin?
But that's a big thing as well with the daughter picking Ellie, that's the daughter, picking up on all the stuff that they're saying and then like doing drawings or like calling people names at school, or eventually people calling her names at school, but all this kind of stuff. Oh man, Chaotic said she just watched the scene at the urology office with Shiva. That's we're on episode 2 right now, but we're gonna get there soon.
We'll get to that, Chaotic. We'll get to that.
Man, that's so funny. Yeah, classic stuff. Let's see. Well, back to number 2. Let's see, where are we at? So they're talking about being Eskimo brothers, and Taco's like, how do you guys even get anything done? Because like everything that he does is through his whole Eskimo brothers network. And then Pete ends up meeting I can't remember her name in real life, but she was the one who was in Suits, and she's the one who married the prince.
Oh yeah, that's I thought I recognized her. That's
Megan
Megan Marple. Megan, I don't follow the prince either.
Right. I knew her.
Is it Megan Marples or something?
Let me see. What is Markle?
Markle. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that that was her. I haven't known her name. We're bad. Because I know that she did acting before.
Right.
Here and there. And
she was in Suits. Like if Suits is
I don't know Suits.
It's a USA show. It's kind of following some lawyers in a law office, but really good.
One of the main actors in it.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
Yeah, except for the last season because she got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Antonio said, "What season was it where Ellie said my mom beat my dad, beat him good?" I think it was the second season, if I'm not mistaken.
My mom beat my dad, beat him good.
Yeah, it was they were talking. They played each other in fantasy football, but like he was like, "Yeah, you
beat him in the game." Okay.
Yeah, and then so they got taken super out of context from her, and like it's funny. The cops come to their house. We had a domestic violence call, and like pulls the wife, and he was like, "No, she didn't beat me. I'm a man," and like in a super high pitched voice. But yeah, they like take her to jail for a second.
They take who did
Jenny.
It was Jenny. Okay. I can see that second season. So the second season is pretty good too, then, huh?
Oh, all the seasons are good. I mean, maybe towards the last one, second to last one, kind of tailors off a little bit, but it's the same thing where the first episode and the last episode, those are like all around fantasy football, but then it's like the ones in the middle, sometimes they get a little off the rails because there's so much character development happening.
All right, Marty. See you, Marty.
Hell yeah. He said the sleep app bong was crazy. Yeah, at the very end, the sleep what is it, apnea? Oh man.
Oh, that's a bong. I didn't know that. I think he was joking around in that.
Well, it wasn't really a bong, but he
you turn it into one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was even thinking that.
Yeah. And so that's pretty much it on episode 2. Yeah, because it ended with Ruxin getting caught.
No. There's also the vaginal hubris.
Oh yeah, that was So
that was episode 2.
Yeah, that's another peek into Taco's creativity, right? Is him actually making music videos, making the songs, and
that's more like Bogey, though, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why Bogey is more like Taco than
I haven't seen Rafi, but
yeah. Yeah, Rafi's off the rails. You'll see him if you watch the first episode of season 2, you'll meet Rafi. He's crazy. And but yeah, Taco, vaginal hubris.
They had a good ring to it, but I don't remember the melody right now.
Yeah. Real classic stuff though. I mean, Taco, he's the backbone as far as like
relief.
Well, I mean, see, I was gonna say comic relief, but everybody's
they're all funny.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess he just kind of takes it to the next level. How about that? Because a lot of the comedy between each of the guys is, them just ribbing on each other or whatever. But like, he just takes the production of like talking shit to the next level.
Yeah, that, and I would also say that he's out of all of them, he's like a lot different from the rest of them. Like Kevin and Pete aren't that much different, right?
Right.
And then even Ruxin, The Ruxin situation is a lot different from Kevin and Pete,
right?
but those three seem kind of similar. Then they bug Andre,
Yeah.
and then Taco seems like almost an outsider that is accepted.
Well, so here's what it is. The first
that's
four
that's
that
how I
you
get it.
said, they were friends in high school.
All of
Taco, the four, Pete,
them?
Pete, Kevin, Andre, and Ruxin. They were all friends like all the way through college. Taco is Kevin's brother.
Oh,
So that's why he might be a little bit different, but than everybody
Kevin's
else.
brother?
Yeah.
Did I miss that, or they never said it?
I don't know if they say it in the first
I don't think
season.
they do. I would never have known that.
Yeah, I swear. Yeah.
I watched 3 episodes.
Yeah, because the only yeah, I don't know if they actually mention it specifically, but yeah, they because I guess the closest it was them saying that Taco was the godfather of Ellie. That was in the next episode, season 3 or episode 3. But yeah. Now that I think about it, I guess they didn't really mention that anywhere. But yeah, Taco is Kevin's brother, Kevin's younger brother.
Okay, that kind of answers the question. I'm kind of right. I know it'd be a brother, but he's kind of brought in. He seems like there's something different about him as opposed to the other 4.
Yeah. And the reason why Taco is how he is because they got him high when he was like 13 or something like that. And then he just had to keep getting high. They hypnotized him.
Hypnotized him, huh? That's his what they say, the beverage of choice.
Daniel Barry Sports Highlights in the house. What up?
Daniel Barry Sports.
Yeah, hey, there's seasons and seasons down the road. I can't remember which ones, but for whatever, he couldn't find any weed or something, and he got sober. And when he got sober, he got real smart, especially when it came to fantasy football. And so they had to hypnotize him again.
Oh, okay.
They can't have
off the Stampeders, right? Off the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, yeah, because that was something that we totally skipped out on. Like that's how crazy he is. Like he'll watch college football and he knows a lot about a lot, but like they just make him like pretend like he doesn't know anything about the NFL. Yeah, Joffrey Reynolds. That was funny. Chaotic said, what network was this show originally on? Originally on FX, and then it got moved to like FXX when they had that secondary channel.
FXS. I don't know that one.
Yeah, it was
XS. Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it was another that was like one of their paid channels. I think I remember. Crazy number on DirecTV. But yeah, let's see. Let's jump into number 3, which this one was kind of funny. Also, I mean, the premise was just kind of lame because the food at Ruxin's. I mean, that's really what it was. Going to Ruxin's house for the whole 8-course meal or whatever. And then everything is kind of based around Ellie grabbing poop and throwing it around as well as like a 4 or 5-year-old, whatever the hell she is.
Yeah, she kind of brought it to the baby too, did she?
Yeah. That's how the episode started and ended. was her
disgusting.
The
stage.
So one of the elements of this episode that I really like is so if you take it back to 2009, things were a lot different with fantasy football, especially with me. I was in like one league, I think back then, maybe 1 or 2. And like everyone has their league that they're in, but like, I don't know. Now I'm in dozens and dozens of leagues, and a whole bunch of the people watching with us are in dozens of leagues, but back then it was like you had your one league and that was kind of it. That was like all you were working with. So Andre, they find out Kevin's on the street and he sees Andre, and then he goes into some coffee shop or something. And then you see that Andre has a whole other league that he's a part of, where he's like super popular, super cool. His team's good.
He's the hero.
He's got the juice.
Telling jokes. They laugh at his jokes.
Yeah. See, what'd you think about that element?
When I first saw that scene, I was just about to say, when I first saw that, I said to myself, man, they're laughing at his jokes. All the other guys don't laugh at his jokes. He's a cool guy. So I watched a little more. I go, oh, okay. Because I didn't totally understand what was going on. I didn't know that he bounced. I didn't know that was another fantasy football league. And then I got up to speed once they kept talking.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's what's going on. Okay, he's the cool guy over there. He's like, I don't want to leave them. They like me. They like me.
And
So he goes. He's back with his guys.
yeah.
They tell him that, listen, he can't be both. You got to let them go.
And that's really what it is. Like that's also their running joke throughout the entire thing, is like their league is the one and only. Like they're never going to be in another league. They're not going to cheat on their league with another league. And that's like a big part of it as well for the entire 7 seasons.
So there's more loyalty back then than there is now, huh?
Right.
There's none now.
Well, I wouldn't say there's none now, because I think people are loyal to the leagues that they're in, but
they're just in multiple leagues.
Yeah. Things are just different. I think I mean, really because of like social media. That's what's getting fantasy football more and more popular. People conversing, having communities, being able to meet other people who were into fantasy football. Because I found out about it in 2006, so a couple years before this show even starts. And yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, I don't know. You only find out because of a friend like telling you about it. Like, if you didn't know about it, like the only way you're finding out is if a friend tells you about it or invites you to a league or something.
And it must have sounded strange at first too. Like when you first heard about the fantasy football, like when I first heard of it, I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, what's the purpose of it after that too, right? So
right.
They had all these questions.
Yeah, and it's like Dungeons, and I mean, one of the ways that someone tried to explain it to me initially is kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but for people who play sports. And I was like, okay, now what's Dungeons and Dragons?
You know D&D?
I mean, I didn't know like what I didn't know. I knew the name, but I didn't know the concept or anything. But
yeah, I played a couple times, but I never really got into it.
Yeah.
It's like all or none. You're either really into it or you're just not.
Same with fantasy football. Either you're really into it or you're just, you're in one league with a couple of your friends and that's it. Yeah, and you find out even more, like as good as these guys are at fantasy football, like when it comes to like outside their circle, like, they don't really know anything. Like that's another running joke is how dumb they are with fantasy football in general, except for Pete. All right, let's see. What else happened?
The 3-time champion, Pete.
Yeah. 3 Pete. What'd you think about him? I know you know a little bit about sports, so did you know who he was calling Terry Bradshaw when he was?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about that when he finally got
believe it? It's like, is he really calling Terry Bradshaw? Like as far as the character being on there, it's Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
And it was like, how would he get a hold of Terry Bradshaw? Impossible. Then he kind of Terry Bradshaw mentioned, yeah, you guys call me up once in a while. You guys get me. So I know I'm privy to this stuff. I know what's going on or something like that, right? Terry's good. It was like a real deal thing.
Yeah.
Like he got on camera, but he's on camera all the time. Antonio, yeah. A little different story, but I thought that was cool. That was a good little bit right there with Terry Bradshaw.
And the more and more time that goes on, the more and more cameos that you get from people like him, ex-NFL stars, current NFL stars, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think that's something like being a fantasy football enthusiast. It made it, you could kind of live vicariously through them because of the cool shit that they're doing. You would just like hope one day that you could get to do like even a few things that these people randomly do and people that they randomly meet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I knew he was lying. LaDainian's not starting. I didn't think he was going to be starting.
I don't know why he fell for it. Like, come on, Pete. Thought you were smarter than that.
Yeah, he fell for the okie doke.
And then he lost to Andre. And Andre's just back. He could back up his smack talk now. And it's funny. We got this on the soundboard. Oh, there we go.
You
He's like,
dancing to that?
I
You
can back
dancing to
it up.
that?
Beep, beep, beep.
A little dance to it, man. In your own element there.
Andre's not used to winning, so it's funny. Like him winning just a couple games, they're getting really excited, really excited. But that's how it is. Like if you like one of the last jobs that I worked where I was like in an office, we had a fantasy football league in the.
You worked in an office, Alex?
It was a while ago. It was a while ago. I know it doesn't even seem
I
like
can't
I.
picture you in an office, man.
And
You doing tech? You doing tech?
No, I was running a bunch of things in a customer service for a marketing department, running a lot of different departments for them. And so like a lot of the people in the customer service department, we were all in a fantasy football league together. Every Monday when you come in, it's like if you're just talking shit, just like these guys are. Like after the week, you whoop on someone and they're a couple desks over from you. You're gonna figure out how to get over to their desk just to rub it in their face that you whooped them up this past week.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man. Hardcore.
It was fun. It was, I mean, I guess that's like one of the only fun parts about working in an office is doing things like that, but having fantasy football leagues to kind of connect. And it's really just building camaraderie, whatever it is. Like I know we're in a bunch of leagues, but all these leagues mean things. And like a lot of the people who are in the chats right now, like if I wasn't running these leagues and doing all this stuff, would they even be here rocking with us? But we became friends, like being in fantasy football leagues together.
Right on, man.
Cool stuff.
Found a good hobby.
Yeah.
Bigger than a hobby now.
Hell yeah.
Get some money down on it.
Let's talk about episode 4. Why don't you lead us into that? Because you said that was your favorite out of the 6, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. So they split. Pete and Allie split up, and he had this resort vacation spot for the weekend booked. I don't know where it was booked, but it's booked somewhere. Do you remember that?
They didn't say where it was, but it's got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere they're in Chicago, so.
So of course, he's going to bring one of his homies along, Andre. Everybody else kind of falls and appears there anyway.
Well, that's what's funny. That's what's funny, right? When they're trying to figure out who it's going to be, and Andre's like, "I'll go," and he was like, and he's like, "Well, what about you, Kevin?" He's like, "I can't go this weekend." And Ruxin, he's like, "I can't this weekend." And Taco is like, "Oh yeah, I'm busy." He's like, "Well, Andre, I guess you're the next."
Oh, but the fall. By cancellation.
Yeah. What up, Crispy? Thanks for gifting the 420 crew membership on YouTube.
Yeah, so Crispy,
kind of backdoored his way into that.
Backdoored, really?
Well, I mean, he only got it by default. That's what I mean by backdoored your way into it. He pretty much only got it by default.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's nobody.
Okay, left. So he is a process of elimination. He wins the prize of going with Pete.
Yep.
As they're checking in, of course, there's a pretty blonde courtesy clerk at the desk there, and checking them in as a couple. And Andre's just going along with it like he's, pig in a blanket.
How long have you been together?
What's that?
How long have you been together? It's like 15 years.
Yeah. Hey, Pete kind of went along for a bit. I was kind of surprised he did. Because Pete seems to be a little more uptight, but he also loosens up when you least expect it.
Yeah. Well, and this one, it's all kind of a show to a certain point because of what we're going to talk about later when Pete and Andre actually make a trade. But that's where a little bit of the facade comes from Pete to where maybe he's acting a little bit different because he has an ulterior motive.
Oh, with the with the girl?
Well, no, with Andre.
Claire. Her name was Claire. I remember.
Yeah, with Andre. Yeah, he has the ulterior motive of making the trade.
Oh, the trade, right.
Yeah.
That's why Andre was able to go with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what's funny? There's a lot of situations that they would do something out of their own self-interest for a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do this, whether it was covert or overt. You just never knew, right?
Yep.
Behind the scenes, you're meeting at park benches.
Gets
Yeah,
real sneaky.
Yeah, and Jenny gets in on it, right? Jenny's right there.
She was the first one,
She's
first one to
sly.
do it. And then Rex
You know,
was like, I knew that you were running Kevin's team. Because Kevin never admits it, is what it is. They know because they see things, but he never admits it.
Right. Right. So yeah, so she starts it off. You know, she creates the you know, she serves the bees, the beehive. I say bee's nest, the beehive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gets things going, just like in the Warriors, right? That one woman, things were cool, but that one gang, what was that one gang?
Yep, the orphans.
The orphans. They're like, okay, you can go. Then that woman just threw a monkey wrench out there.
She's gonna let an army walk through here.
Yeah. So Jenny gets some things going on. So, and then that hospitality clerk, the courtesy clerk, yeah, she's all like overly nice. I thought it was just hospitality too. It was like 50-50. It was a tough one.
Right.
They said, he took his chances. Of course, she's like, oh yeah, there's the love bench over there, right? No, the kissing,
kissing bridge.
The kissing bridge, right? The kissing bridge. So I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
Took the whole episode.
I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna do something, and then he like just kisses her. Like, come on, no way.
Took the entire episode.
I thought that was cool though. I thought it was cool. Yeah, it's gonna get some.
Yeah.
I was like right on board. He's gonna get some of it back. She says, "Finally, finally!" I was waiting for you to do that, to kiss me.
He's like, so this is you don't do this with everyone. She's like, no, I got off 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Then I thought, you know what, man, this is too good to be true. It's gonna happen. And he goes back. Are we there already? Am I missing something?
Well, we
goes back to that hotel room. No, I think I skipped ahead. I think we missed. Oh, you know what? There was we missed, which I thought was a stellar moment, when they started using the tennis players for jokes, for sexual innuendos. The tennis players' names.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. What was a couple of them? Yeah, she got a nice pair of Sharapovas over there. Talking about a woman's breast.
Yep.
And then what else was there? Lendls. I'll put my Lendls in her mouth. Yeah, Kevin said that, right? Oh no, yeah, I got no problem putting my Lendls in her mouth. That goes back to Yvonne Lendl back in the 80s. There are a couple other ones. What were the other ones? Hingus, something about Hingus, but I didn't get that one.
Yeah, dang it. Well, yeah, something about Hingus.
That was the first one, actually.
Yeah. What did he say? I remember.
It's kind of like Cunnilingus. Hingus.
And Andre was like, the Williams sisters are playing doubles.
But it was a man and a woman, though.
Yeah.
They walk by. The couple walks by. And then I think there's another one too, but they rattle them off. That was hilarious.
Yeah, and that's funny. And that I wonder if that was improv, right? Like, I mean, I see that and I'm like, man, these guys are just like fucking around, and maybe they had like a couple names
or that was an improv. Who knows? That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Then we had Antonio do a little cameo.
Yep, Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember that game when he went super crazy, and it was like 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, something insane. And that's how, if that happened and you lost because of that, like, that's the reaction that a lot of people would have, oh, this one motherfucker ruined my team. And he actually meets him face to face
in the hot tub.
Funny.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. And then that's when we go back over to Pete and the Kissing Bridge, right? And he's leaving that.
Well, so I guess we didn't even talk about the couples massage between Pete and Andre.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's hard to remember all this stuff.
That's where the trade happens. And
the trade. I think I said the train.
No, it's where the
one track mind here.
That's where the trade happens, and it's funny because Andre, he's like, no, we're not making a trade. We made a trade last year, and you trade raped me. He's like, I did not trade rape you. He's like, you jumped out of the bushes, you pulled down my panties, and you raped me. Okay, and the two old masseuses,
they're looking at each
what
other.
What are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
And they make the trade, and it's funny because Andre receives Plexico Burris, and I don't remember who he traded away, but yeah, Plexico Burris shot himself in a club, and then he ended up having to go to jail for.
That was true too, right?
Yeah, that really happened. So they mixed that into the actual story.
I do remember that.
And that's what pissed off Andre, and that's why he was in Pete's hotel room, or in the hotel room when they came back.
Oh, what was he doing? Watching a little bit of porn, but not just regular porn. It'd be Pete up on the big screen.
And it was the sex scene from the very first episode where she's putting the finger up his butt.
Oh yeah, he videotaped that particular scene. I don't know if he videotaped that one. I thought it was just a random scene.
No, it was that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Hey, because he was about to get it from Claire. From the hotel clerk.
Yep, he was
like,
this
close. He's gonna get it. He's that close.
This close.
And then all he had to do was kick him out. Kick Andre. Okay, you're sitting there. He was about to kick him out. Then what was on that screen? That's what.
Yeah.
That's how he just lost it. He took a big L on that one.
There you go, Antonio. You see any news on Burris? No, because he's in jail, you moron. Hey, there we go. Jacob knows it was Ronnie Brown for Plexico Burris. That's what it was. And Ronnie Brown was balling out that year. That was the year him and Ricky Williams, I believe, were both balling out in 2009.
Well, he was playing in 2009. I thought he retired before that.
I think that was second to last year.
More than me.
Yeah, second to last year, I think. Pretty sure.
So he storms in there. So Andre's on the couch watching porn, but it's Pete screwing his wife. And then she sees it and she goes, well, that's you. Claire says to Pete, that's you having sex. He said this really quick. He said, hey, don't worry, I was drunk. So thinking that she may accept that that reason.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I was drunk. It's no big thing. Then Andre says, oh, it was beautiful. They were beautiful creatures. When he said that, I lost it. I lost it right there. I was laughing so hard I was crying, man. Hey, well, it's your fault because your porn channels are horrible. Oh man, that was hilarious, man.
That was super funny. And
made the whole season funny.
It's hilarious how the DVD that they made, they put it in the what was it, the Benjamin Button DVD. Because nobody's gonna watch that.
That's when they stole it back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're covering up. There we go. Yeah, it was, huh? Yeah, I think 2010 was Ricky's. It was his last year with the Dolphins, and then second to last year in the NFL. He was with Ray Lewis the next year after that.
Ray Lewis.
Ravens. Yeah. And and what was it? One of the parts that always had me laughing is fucking Taco. He's one of the side plots was him dressing up like Mr. McGiblets to go try to scare
that is 3 or 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, Mr. McGiblets for Allie's daughter, right?
Yeah. And he's supposed to be scaring her, but turns into them just like having fun and then like robbing the place like they're in a Drop Dead Fred or something.
So and the reason why he wanted the computer is for the pics, right?
Well, I don't even know, but I mean, it was just taking whatever was expensive. I don't even think it was for the picks necessarily.
Oh, I thought, well, I guess he wasn't talking. He was just like pointing, hey, over there.
Yeah. And then it's like,
do you see him do this?
Yeah.
He goes like that to her.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared.
No, she didn't even know what it meant. She just wanted him to dance. And then he starts dancing and totally gets sidetracked.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh man.
Sticky, sticky.
And then he's like running with the bag. He's walking with the bag, and then the local cops or whatever, the neighborhood cops, flash the lights and they're on him. And then he runs out to the hotel and jumps into bed with Ruxin. Then when he gets up, he's all naked and they're all freaked out. And he's like, "You were naked all night next to me."
Yeah. Just don't touch me. You sleep here. You sleep with him. Just don't touch me.
Yeah, he was trying to spoon him.
Oh, man.
Sticky said, "LOL." Taco's first scene walks up to the trophy. "Man, it's a cool trophy. What's it for?" It's like, "It's the fantasy football trophy, Taco. Your name is on it." That's another joke too, that Kevin cannot win, and even Taco has won.
We never talked about that trophy yet.
Yeah, the Shiva. I mean, that's
well, was it? Oh, sorry, in the first episode, Kevin dropped it off at Pete's place.
Yep.
Then Pete obviously had to scoop it up. He had to take it in.
Well, he didn't though, and it was all part of. I mean, it's part of the fantasy football psychology. Like, how about that between managers? Like, really, that's what it kind of comes down to. He before the draft, he leaves it over there because he doesn't. He he wants Kevin to get bad juju for having it. Kevin comes and brings it back because he doesn't want the bad juju for having it. And Pete just like, because out of pride, I'm leaving it there.
Yeah, and, so he left it there. No, I think he went down and he got it though, didn't he?
Well, he got it later, but yeah, got ran over by a truck or something. It was all like
he left it there for a minute.
Pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, they picked it up.
Yeah.
I thought for a second it got damaged when no, that's the first episode when Ruxin had that boy over in his room. Sounds so bad.
Well, see, it did get thrown on the ground and stuff.
Right?
And yeah,
remember that? The boy's father threw it on. Threw it against. He chucked it, didn't he?
Yeah.
At the party.
Yeah.
At Andre's party.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. There's some classic stuff in these episodes. And number 5, oh man, this one gets a little bit more weird, and it kind of takes you down the road of like how weird they can get. Because in this one, Taco, when they go to the bar, he goes up to the bartender and he asks them for 3 penis wine, and they're out.
Oh yeah, that. Somehow I forgot about that, Alex. Thanks for bringing it up and ruining the episode for me. Yeah, the three penis water. There's all penises from a monkey, one from a bull, and something else, right?
Snake, dog, and deer.
Okay, I was off.
But he said he thinks that the deer does most of it, though.
How would he know?
I have no idea.
Then he starts. Then it's it's having its effect.
Yep.
He's starting to see through the horny lens.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's hitting me real hard. I've never drinking this on an empty stomach before.
And he can't differentiate between men and women. He just makes them horny, right?
Yeah.
Anybody
gets the juices flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And also at the beginning of the episode, Pete, they start calling out Andre. So this season's a little bit different than every other season after this, because every season after this, there's like weekly episodes. This one was one, I believe, where like they had a couple episodes and there was a break and then another episode. But this is they're starting the playoffs, which is the very, very end. They only have a 2-week playoffs in their league. So this would be all the way in the end of January, pretty much. And Pete's calling out Andre. He's like, hey, you haven't been around. You change your schedule. He's like, got to have a girlfriend. And they don't say who, but they know that Andre's got a girlfriend, which is usually not the case with him.
No. And she's quite pretty too.
She was very hot as an adult.
Not as a high schooler, though.
No. If you see her picture on the trophy. I mean, nerdy girl with glasses, goofy hair, all that kind of stuff.
So they get, are we there right now? They get Andre's, from Andre's phone, they get her address.
So that's in the 6th one, right?
Yeah, that's the next one. Okay.
Yeah. This one, a lot of this episode, I didn't really. I mean, the part that I didn't really like about this episode is the whole Christmas party aspect of it. We have no idea whose Christmas party this is. I think it's only there to establish the time of the year because some weeks passed and things like that. And that's usually when the playoffs are starting to kick off around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't. I didn't like that part of it. I mean, it was funny, the stupid charades that they were doing, but I mean, I think they could have done something else.
Right?
Hey, can you tell a man's sexual orientation by how good they are at charades or how enthusiastic they are about charades? I can't remember what he said.
He insulted that guy.
Yeah, because what was he doing? He was just pointing at himself, and Pete's like, "Gay,
you're gay."
What? He was like,
he had it with that.
It's like all I was doing was pointing at my face, and you said gay. Oh man. And but I mean, he brought it upon himself. I mean, he's talking about the soup group that he's in, and I mean, I would have been exactly like those guys. What the fuck is a soup group?
Yeah, they were kind of squares.
Very much so.
Even more than Andre.
And Chaotic said, make sure you tell in advance what movie you're doing so I have time to watch. Well, the next movie that we're doing is Back to the Future. We're giving you a blast from the past.
Back to the Future, Chaotic.
Yeah.
I think did we say this one? I don't know if we mentioned it. Maybe not.
I don't think, not until now. That was the first time. We'll mention it again at the end of the show, and I'll make sure to remind people. But yeah, we're going to try to see if we can start doing this weekly on Fridays. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? They had the and then the Chinatown. There was a lot in China that happened in Chinatown with Ruxin and Taco. They were at that restaurant for a long time. That was like half the episode. And it starts off. It starts off.
I'm trying to think.
It starts off with them.
Oh yeah,
feeling like
Bobby Lee.
Yeah,
Bobby Lee was there.
Heck yeah.
I've been to Bobby Lee 3 times here in Hollywood.
Nice.
And the third time we looked at each other like nothing was said, but we just like, oh no. One time he bought something off me, my product.
Okay.
That was the second time. And the third time we saw each other. Then nothing was said. We just kind of look. Then we keep bumping. I bumped into IHOP and then place some I think Aaron Brothers, and then the place was over by this juice bar where I was selling my product.
Okay. Nice.
He's just a funny dude. I always usually see him by himself. Just kind of looking at things. And he's like in real life, he's like that. How his characters a lot of the time. He's very close to his characters.
Okay. I like it.
He's a real dude.
And this one, I mean, he's playing, well, I mean, for lack of a better term, I mean, they call him mentally challenged, and he's very Chinese, like, I mean, doesn't speak English or anything, and doesn't really talk that well either. But it's so funny because Ruxin puts his hands in the urinal to like clean them off. He doesn't know what the hell's going on.
I was watching that. I thought that was a trough. Did you?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen those before.
Yeah, I've seen them too. You don't see them often though, but I've seen them. They were big in the 50s and 60s, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen them before, and like, I don't know. I mean, the sinks were literally on like the opposite side of that, so I don't, that it wasn't that funny of it. It wasn't that funny of a joke. I feel like they could have filled the time a little bit better, but it's funny that Ruxin, that's one of the forever unclean. Like that's a big running joke throughout the entire show. Like something happens.
Oh, was that because of that?
Well, I think that's where
his hands in the trough.
Yeah, and that's what he said.
Urinal trough.
Chinese urinal, forever unclean. And then Bobby Lee sees him, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "No, I didn't piss on myself." But then he goes out there, and he's like telling everyone that he pissed on himself, and everyone's laughing at him.
Oh yeah,
but they did
jokes pretty good.
I feel their pain when they were at the beginning, right? Like, I mean, they pick an authentic place to go eat. And they're trying to ask him a question. He doesn't speak English, and then he tells them to like order off the menu, and the menu's entirely in Chinese, and trying to get him like, which one should I get? And then the guy walks away, and he's like, do we order soup? Do we get anything? And then they bring soup over to Bobby Lee's table and the beef and broccoli, and he's like, hey, it's the beef and broccoli that I wanted.
Yeah, you got his stuff. Yeah, also if you speak Chinese. I guess he was speaking Mandarin.
I
kind of recognize that a little bit.
Yeah.
I learned a little bit of Mandarin and Cantonese. There's a difference. Cantonese is what they speak in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Mandarin's mainline China.
Yeah.
I've been to Hong Kong, but not China, though.
Okay. I like it. So end of this episode, everyone ends up at the bar, and they're trying to watch the playoff matchups because it's Kevin versus Pete. And they have a bet on the line, their yearly bet, and whoever the loser is has to run down an alley naked for 2 minutes. So just stupid getting naked bets.
No, Jenny had to do that.
Well, we'll get to that, because the reason why she had to do it was because she made Kevin play Peyton Manning, and if Kevin would have played Kurt Warner like he wanted to do, then they would have won. So Jenny was wrong, and she had to take on the punishment. And then
one second, real quick. Have you seen these episodes more than once?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like how many times?
Probably a dozen. Probably a dozen.
Each episode?
Yeah. I mean, paying attention closely to it, maybe not, but I've it ended in 2015, and I've watched every single year since 2015, like watch the whole season somewhere in the off season for football.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I know your stuff. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know I've seen it at least a dozen times. And Andre beats Ruxin, and then it's going to be Pete and Andre in the championship, and then they have the big reveal that Shiva is back.
Yeah, he's got a new girl.
Yeah, and definitely the hottest girl that Andre's ever been with. That's for sure.
And I was surprised too. I was like, wait a minute, is that Shiva? Because I thought it must have been. But then what are you doing with him? I go, this is a joke. But then no, then she was all over him like the cat's meow.
And that's like one of the running jokes also, is like doing things to get an extra advantage, to give give you good luck, better mojo. Don't really know what to say. But yeah, so having sex with Shiva, that's like extra mojo for Andre, like times 100.
Here's my question. So when they went over to her place, did they know? Well, they obviously know what she looked like. Did they think that she was going to look that good? I don't know. Like, I'm a little confused on that.
I don't think so. No, I don't. No.
Did any of them make a comment on her looks?
No, because it was really less about her and more about their league than anything, and why they were there was more just give me some good mojo, Shiva. Like, let me touch your hand, like.
Oh, right.
All those type of things. So it's really
the worshiping of her.
Yeah. Anything.
She brought good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Anything to kind of give themselves a little bit of an upper hand in the game.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I got her brush. Someone had her panties or something, right?
Yeah, well, Andre had her panties. That was one of the what's it called? The offerings to the Shiva. Yeah.
Yeah, he had her panties, right?
Yeah, it was Ruxin who stole her vibrator. He said he wanted to get as close to her as possible.
Yeah, Ruxin did good getting that. I don't know how he got that. So
sad.
Like, how did they get these things?
Yeah, when they were at her house. When they were at her house, they just took everything.
They weren't there that long, though, were they?
No. I don't know. I guess
kind of hanging out, but
yeah, I mean, they were there for a little while. They were watching some football games. Yeah, and the final episode. It's always all about the championship that's going on, and so this championship between Pete and Andre, everybody wants Pete to lose. Like, that's what it's all about. Like, and that's kind of where I fit into a lot of this. A lot of people, they just definitely don't want me to win. And sometimes, I mean, we can even go back. I remember like playing Monopoly with like friends when we're like 10 or 11. It's like people will lose if it means me not winning, but as long as I don't win, it's like a victory for them somehow. And like even for Ruxin,
you're probably getting me number one, were you?
And like Ruxin, he wants to help Andre just so Pete can lose, so he can somehow take a victory because it's Pete losing, even though it's not him winning.
Sometimes you do that. Yeah, that makes sense.
And oh man, and then Antonio, don't you Shiva blast in here, you go outside. Yeah, because they always scream out her name. And the joke,
oh yeah, right,
the first Shiva blast came when Kevin was having sex with Shiva, and then as he had an orgasm, he screamed out her name.
Kevin was having sex with her,
with Shiva, and when they were in high school.
Did he really have sex with her? No.
Yeah, when they were in high school.
He did.
I mean, they don't show it, but that's like the story.
Okay, no, I missed that storyline.
Oh no. Well, they haven't said that. They haven't said that yet. So I'm just giving you a little
jumping ahead.
Yeah, I'm giving you a little insight into the future. That's what the Shiva blast was all originated from. Was Kevin had sex with her when they were in high school, and it's funny. And she was like, he couldn't even last one song because they were having sex in a car and had the music blasting, apparently.
I was looking down at my notes on this episode 6. I was going to mention something about. He couldn't hold it, so he had to yell Shiva in the back. Yeah, she heard him though. She heard him.
Yeah.
She's like, what's that?
But yeah, so funny. They can't control themselves. Can't control himself. Shira.
Yeah, he's like, come on, you can, but no, he couldn't.
So funny.
And then I like when Ruxin says to her, yeah, so you pretty much caught us. I can explain, but you're not gonna like it. Or it's not gonna make it any easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not gonna make you feel any better.
Yep.
You're still gonna be pissed off, but I'll tell you the deal.
Yep, and just because he needed a ride, that's it. He spilled the beans just because he needed a ride.
I think these guys do, man, to get ahead.
Yeah. Yep, and then Andre, no more, not getting any more of the Shiva after that one. She was super pissed. Yeah, hits him right in the stomach with the trophy.
Yeah, poor Andre, man.
Yeah,
he had a good thing going with her too.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing with Andre. He has throughout these 7 seasons, him and his relationships. I mean, it's very interesting to say the least.
So he has other ones coming up.
Yeah, and they make fun of him when every woman that he dates, he becomes a chameleon boyfriend. They say, and like he's like with a chick who's like high tech, so he like has a Bluetooth and everything. And he was like, "What about that?" Then he was. They show a video of him at Ruxin's wedding, and he's dating like I could just an African chick, and like she's all dressed like just full African gear on, hat, whole daishiki almost, and like Andre's like dressed like exactly like it as well. And so yeah, he's a chameleon, and it's funny all the way at the end though. It's either season 6 or season 7. The big reveal is him dating and then eventually marrying Pete's ex-wife, Megan.
What?
Yep, it goes that far. And yeah.
Andre?
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm going to tune into that episode just to see it.
Yeah,
to see it.
This is one to watch if you have some time. I don't know when the next time we're going to do a breakdown on the seasons is, but
you think it's season 7?
I think he meets her in season 6 at the end of it, but it's like then through season 7, he's with her. Oh man. Antonio said, what about the girl that was allergic to sperm? Yeah. Oh man. That was he was marrying a girl who's allergic to sperm. And I don't know if it was all sperm or just Andre's sperm. But yeah, that didn't end well for him either. And Michael said they should bring the league back. Yeah, they should. They should, because the fantasy football premise will never go away. That's for sure. And the only other storyline in here is Taco talking about Jettas and how he finally realized that seeing a Jetta means there's a hot girl driving it.
Yeah, I don't know. He ends up getting one in the end there.
Yeah, he starts working at the Volvo.
I think it's the same blonde too. There's a blonde earlier that was in a car. She gets in. They don't talk to her, but the three of them were out there talking.
Right.
I think it was the same girl.
I mean, they all look super similar.
Yeah. I mean, same like platinum blonde hair. Yeah. There's like 3 of them in the show.
Yeah.
In the first episode. So they had some other ones. Those 2 girls that were Andre's barbacks.
Yeah.
He hired 2 girls, right?
Yep. Yeah, for the very first episode.
Yeah. He had a nice little loft there too. 62-inch TV.
With DirecTV Sunday ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always felt. I always felt like this was somehow like it was like either it was sponsored by like ESPN and DirecTV somehow. Because all the fantasy leagues that they played in were always ESPN, and they're always talking about ESPN, and then they're always bringing up DirecTV. It's always in the mix there. So I felt like they were in on it somehow.
Well, they had advertising. They had Bud Lights on there.
Yeah.
And another beer too, I noticed. What was it? Wasn't Budweiser, but it was Bud Light. And it was Pete was always drinking a Bud Light.
Yeah.
Another guy had what was it? I don't know. But I know it's another brand there too. And it wasn't Bud. And now, Budweiser's having a hard time,
Yeah, because they got all these what do you call them? All these micro brews now.
No, I'm talking about that thing, the advertising with the trans.
Oh, I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter. I'm not really into it that much, but I got wind of it though.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, it's pretty much the end of the season. It's Andre winning it all, getting the trophy, and then they finish it off with their song, the Shiva Kamini Soma something Shiva.
No, are they making up those lyrics? Because I know the song, but I don't know the lyrics to the song. I just know that there's the melody,
Right, and I think and that's what I guess that's what I'm not even sure. Like, are they? It always sounds very similar, but I feel like there's different words being said here and there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure.
They do it twice in this episode, but it's one of those ones where, I mean, the very end of the entire season, like, they're doing this song and dance, so it carries over from year to year and season to season.
Oh, okay. I know that song from when I was a kid. It's an old song. Old as the hills.
So this one, it's definitely worth watching all the seasons, and they're short episodes, like 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
Episodes.
22 minutes, right? Are they?
Something like that. And the first season, 6 episodes. All the other seasons are 13 episodes. So before we get into grades, we'll talk grades here. What about some of your favorite quotes? Or it could just be one. What was a quote that got you?
I like the Robert Blake one. In episode 1, we were talking about the prisoner should be able to go on a crime spree that would make Robert Blake come in his pants.
Yeah, and the significance was them swapping first round picks, so to be able to get the best player in the fantasy football draft.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's classic stuff right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of quotes I liked.
Yeah,
so it's hard to keep up with half of them, really.
Yeah.
Which one did you like?
So I mean, from the first episode, also, a man could do a lot of things with his time, but this is better than those things. Fantasy football.
Oh yeah,
and that was Pete right at the very beginning, right before kind of the
beginning. I was just gonna say,
yeah.
His wife's intro was hilarious too, because that's not fantasy football. because if you heard of Tom Likas,
sounds familiar.
You probably know because you were in San Diego, so I'm sure you would have got L.A. But anyway, he did like a lot of dating things, men and women's dynamics and stuff, telling guys not to spend more than $20 on a date, that type of thing, in the early 2000s.
But
I remember he was talking about, it's that time when the wife hears dun 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 dun. The beginning. They changed it, but the beginning of the NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 different versions, right?
Okay.
But he was just like, then the wife hears that, she's just like puts her in a crap mood. But just guys, when it starts, just blast it. And then because she was like, that fantasy football, that's what you're doing. He's trying to hide it from her, right, Pete?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, there you go. The NFL season started. They can't stand the season.
Nope. And that's man, that for the
weeks.
For the longest time. For the longest time, that was the dynamic between me and Vanessa too. She did not like fantasy football, doesn't understand it, not a part of it, and so doesn't like it and doesn't like them spending time on it. Luckily now turned it into something that makes some money, so it's a little different.
Oh, so she's cool with it now?
A little bit. I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah.
after all that stuff that you said, a little bit. I thought she's cool. She's down. A little bit.
And Johnny said, here we go. So now we got the insight on the song. It's Have Nagila, a song by my people. The Jews says. There we go. Because that was all I remember. I mean, because I mean, growing up, I didn't have any like Jewish friends where I was going to like any Jewish parties or anything. So it's seeing it on TV shows. But I remember hearing that beat and like they're like holding people up on chairs and stuff. It's usually like during like the weddings.
Yeah, I was just at a Friday night. I went out to my clients. He's Jewish, and they had some songs that I've heard before that I don't know the words, but they know all the words. It was his son's birthday, so that was fun.
Nice.
But Nava Hava la 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 la. I heard that one. Probably when 7 years old, probably the first time I heard it. It's been around a long time.
Yeah. So they sing it at happy occasions and stuff. And they got remixes for weddings too. Nice. Nice. I like it.
Remixes of that song? That's cool.
I like it. All right. So let's jump into grades. And we'll just grade the whole season. We're not going to be grading the episodes necessarily. But what are you giving it, Nelson?
I give it an A. It was either an A or an A minus. I give it an A. I was like, there was more than once that I was laughing and crying at the same time. It's laughing so hard, I was like, tears are coming out. So I would say it was A minus when A was trying to get, but then some of the humor was just so clever. So I bumped it up to an A.
Yeah, and for me, this is an A plus. I mean, I've been watching it since it first came out. Every single year, I'm watching the entire season like over, and I want everyone to know it's that good, so you can go watch it as well. Because
you got some of the league underwear wearing. Are you wearing that today or something? A plus. Whoa, Alex! This last show you said I'm going to be more particular about grading these people harder. They do shows harder now. You come out of the gates at the A+ 2 weeks later, man.
This is the first one.
You got balls on you.
This is the first one out of everything that we've ever graded that's gotten like an A+ or this high from me. I've always been super, super critical, but it's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And
I can see why. I'll give you that. I can see why.
Season 2, season 3, like maybe there'll be little flaws. Like as you create more and more episodes, you may have more episodes that aren't as good. But I think there's really only like 2 parts of 2 episodes that I really, really didn't like and thought they could have went a different direction on. Other than that, I mean, they told the story well, nice throughout all 6 episodes.
Big fat A+.
Yeah, doesn't
that
have
was an A+. That was a fat A+, everybody,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, including Chaotic. I think she's the only woman in here right now.
It will not happen often.
Fat A+.
Yeah, it will not happen often, but this is one. Super excited that we were talking about it this week, enough to where a couple people watched it who'd never heard of it, anything, and watched a couple episodes and laughing. I mean, Chaotic's talking about how she just watched the Pete's examination. In the
we never talked about that. Whoa, we never talked about that.
We skipped over that part. I don't know how we did. Fucking
we can revisit that right now for a second.
Because that was a classic scene.
That was a really good scene. I thought Andre was gonna end up leaving, but I'm staying.
He's like, good. I need
for the ball exam. Then he stops her midway through. No, he doesn't need this exam. He doesn't need it.
Oh man, and Pete's just like looking and staring at him the whole time. So give me a good cough. Give me a good cough. I
remember doing that when I worked for the airline. I had to get a medical.
Oh man.
I don't know what that does. You know what that does?
No idea.
I think if they don't move, then there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
Or if they do move, there's something wrong with you. It's got to be
one of the two.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the two, right? Those cold gloves, they're cold. But I had a male doctor. I didn't have like her. I would have loved to have Shiva doing that.
Yeah, way different. But that's I mean, that's kind of their dynamic right there. Like, I mean, that the minute of that scene is kind of like the dynamic between Pete and Andre throughout the entire season. And yeah, I like it. I like the shit talking amongst friends. I like all the ribbing. They were always kind of like goals of what a league should be as far as like the camaraderie and the last place punishments for people who suck and all those type of things. And in season 2, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen season 2, they do a Las Vegas draft. And that was always like an inspiration. I've always wanted to have like a Las Vegas draft happening. And this year is the first year it's going to happen. I mean, I'm in Las Vegas now, but we're going to get people flying from all over the country into Vegas to come have a Las Vegas draft. And it all spawned from this show.
Is there a Las Vegas draft in the NFL or the fantasy?
No, for our fantasy league. So I'm putting on the event.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that in August, right?
Yeah, in August. You're going to have to make an appearance for that one, Nelson. Everyone's gonna be
we're doing the reviews over there, right?
Heck yeah.
The movie reviews. Yeah, I'm down. I want to slide over to Vegas for a weekend or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
What day is gonna be on? Saturday or Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, it's 3 days.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
Needed to determine the draft order by
18th, 19th, and 20th. We already got the dates and everything set. And Michael said need to determine the draft order race by a kid's potato sack race. I know, right? Super classic. We talked about that in the beginning. That's one of the funny things about each first episode of the season is how they are choosing the fantasy draft order, because it gets funnier and funnier as time goes on. What's up, Hassan? You caught us right at the end.
Hey, man.
What's up, dude? All right. Well, yeah, I don't even really have any final thoughts about the league other than you guys need to go watch it. I'm excited about the next one, though, Back to the Future. I mean, this is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah. I kind of brought that one up, and I can get that one. I should be able to get some locations on that.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to doing that. So what, a week or 2 weeks from that?
I mean,
Probably 2 weeks. It might have to be 2 weeks, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so not
Just if we do locations, at least. But I'll do. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll have to see if I can check it out for this week. Do it as soon as I can.
Yeah, so not this Friday, but next Friday, and then we're gonna try to keep it going every Friday after that for a little bit. We'll try to get some episodes pumped out here because we got a lot of good movies.
I'm shooting a film coming up. I think it's next week. It's the first week in May, which is like coming up. I think it's this week.
Oh,
but I know we're rehearsing, and then I don't know when we're shooting it, but it's going to be this month.
I mean, tomorrow's April 1st.
May 1st. April 1st.
Or May 1st. April 1st. May 1st.
April 1st was a month ago, Alex. Come on, man. You didn't get me. You didn't even get me. Did you get the chat? Yeah. Did you get anybody on April Fools this year?
Nah.
I got a friend of mine, but it wasn't that good.
I think maybe Noble, where he's, oh, did you get this for me? And oh, dang, I forgot. Maybe something like that. And April Fools.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to get kids on it.
Yeah.
Cool kid. But trying to fool adult these days with social media, you can. Everyone's too smart now.
Yeah. See, that's what's funny is, yeah, like, because, I mean, if you forget it's April Fool's, like maybe you'll see, like, I know some people forgot that it was April Fool's and like there was football news that came and they're like, what the fuck, did this really happen? I was like, it's April Fool's, man. They got you. And like, oh, fuck, forgot.
Do you remember what it was?
It was trade news. I can't remember what it was specifically.
And they faked it?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, so it wasn't like teams doing it. That's really what it was. It's like people just making an article and then posting it on social media and it gets circulated, and
so it wasn't like the big news outlet or anything.
Right. No, not a big news outlet. But I remember one of the times though that I got was In-N-Out posting an article on April Fools that they were adding bacon to their menu moving forward. And I went and tried to order a double with bacon, and they were like, we don't have bacon. And I was like, fucking April Fools.
You fucking shits.
That was one of the times.
Got me.
Yeah, Marty said now that you can buy the blue check mark, it fools more people. Yeah, for sure, because now anybody who
you can buy the check mark. So
yeah, on Twitter, they have the I don't know, it's like $7 or $8 a month or something, and then you get the blue check next to your name, and so now people they post an article or something and get circulation because they have the blue check, and yeah.
So before, I'm not that I know I've seen the blue check, but what was it specifically? Was it for like clout?
So, that you were an official person. How about that? Like some celebrities would have it, news people would have it. It's not if you had any article published in like any magazine or any website, you could get a blue check if you showed them that. And
so that's really it was like earned and it was given away for free by some entity.
Well, by Twitter, but Elon Musk bought Twitter recently. And
because I see them on Instagram too.
Right. Yes. And same kind of thing on Instagram. I mean, you can't buy it on Instagram. You can only buy it on Twitter. So yeah, you have to be official, like, I don't know, like Instagram officially knowing that it's you.
Can you submit for it to get that?
See, and I'm not even sure like how you get the blue check either with like Instagram.
Like if you're someone like, Sylvester Stallone, it's just going to be given to you.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, the high up celebs, the freaking athletes. I mean, who knows? Who knows if it's submitting or what it is? Sure, it's not hard if you're amongst that status, right?
Yeah, I mean, they do things for you on that. Because when I would do stuff like on the IMDb, the Internet Movie Database it stands for.
Yep.
A lot of stuff was put on there automatically. I didn't put it on, but some If I did it independent, then I'd have to put it on automatic manually,
Right.
or submit for them to put it on.
Right.
But a lot of, if you got a bit of a name for yourself or you're doing solid work, it's just going to be added automatically pretty much.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, I guess some of the indie stuff wouldn't make it on their radar, but it should.
Yeah, there's so much out there, right? So
yeah,
all the networks there, it's probably in the algorithm.
Yeah, there you go. That's an easy way to explain it. Marty said it basically verifies yourself because people will try to fake being you. There you go.
Right.
All right.
Everybody, it's been a slice. We had a good audience today.
Yeah. Appreciate everyone rocking with us. And we're going to try to get this going more and more. So we'll be doing Back to the Future. Not this Friday, but next Friday. And yeah.
Oh, you follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back, Nelson Times. I never say that.
Yeah.
Never said that.
And what is it? Nelson Times with an
just
underscore?
Nelson Times. Oh yeah, there's an underscore, but if you don't put the underscore, it'll just come up still as Nelson Times.
There we go.
Just put my name. And that's it. I'm not on any other social media. I have Facebook, but I've logged in twice in the last 2 years. I got like 3 photos up, no stories, nothing. But my Instagram, I'm on there solid though.
There we go. Make sure you go follow and interact. And yeah, I got to get more stuff going on social media. I've been slacking on social media lately, but yeah, because I got my TikTok going. So if you go to fantasyfootballhustler.com, I got all the links and everything to where you guys could find me there. But yeah, let's interact a lot more places besides the YouTube checks. We got cool things going down everywhere. All right, Nelson, what parting words do you got for everyone watching?
Oh, one thing. Michael says something. What's your on this year's draft? Oh, that's for you.
Oh, okay. So, Michael, make sure you're here tomorrow because we're going to go live at like 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And we're going to be talking fallout spots from the draft, winners, losers, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be doing it just before we start kicking off all of our rookie drafts. So, yeah, make sure you come back tomorrow for that. We'll be going live early in the morning.
Yeah, so I like to say, keep watching the league. I'm going to actually watch more of it because I really like it. And that was a dark horse. I didn't think it was going to be all that amazing just because I didn't know nothing about fantasy football. So I was pleasantly surprised to say the least, Alex. So you've done well, man. You've done very well, my friend.
I like it.
Very good recommendation. So, yeah. So if and going out to chaotic too. Well, what she now knows is Back to the Future. So since she was mentioning that, to mention what we're going to do before, and if people just kind of watch the fantasy, especially the guys that you're dealing with that are in the fantasy football, if you watch to watch more of the league, I'd be down to work on the second season again whenever. But I'll be watching it. I'll put it on.
Cool. It's a fun one. And I mean, I've already seen these, and I mean, they're 20-minute episodes. So I mean, I know that I could knock that out in a week. So yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that at the end of May or something. We'll get a couple videos in the archives here, and then maybe we'll do the second season of the league.
Yeah, maybe we can even, or you just mention it. Maybe in your streams, like during the day.
Yeah.
Everybody just watch it. We never know when we're going to do it, but just watch it. We'll throw it out there. We'll throw down on the SSB.
There we go. Michael says, for sure, I'll be here. My go-to for fantasy football content. Appreciate you, brother.
Nice.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some fantasy football stuff, and we'll see you Fridays from now for Back to the Future breakdown. Peace out, everybody.
Good evening, Alex. Everybody else.
Peace out, Nelson.
Peace.